Alright guys, here's just a quick little video on doing your citations in text for the research that you're using in your paper. Now anytime you use someone else's ideas in your paper, you have to mention the last name of the author in the text, and there's two ways you can do it. Now some of the resources may not have an author. If that's the case, you use a shorter version of the title. I'm going to give you an example of each of these. Alright, so here's one example, and this is straight out of our research packet, and we're going to be looking at resource number 2. So here's resource number 2, and I've got it pulled up on the computer. You can obviously look at it on the computer in the research packet. So there are two things. First of all, I am going to be taking something from here. I'm going to use some of this. I'm not going to quote, I'm going to kind of paraphrase it a little bit. So I'm going to use that. Notice right here it says in-text citation. This is what I have to put in the text when I use this resource. So here's how it will look on your paper. So again, there's two ways I can do it. The first way is I just give my paraphrase, and then at the end I put that in-text citation before the period in parentheses. That's one way I can do it. Or I can actually put this in my sentence according to Blandino, and that should be a lowercase e because that's not the start of the sentence. So both of these would be correct because it names the author's last name in the text. So this is something that's totally acceptable. This is not against any rules. This is not plagiarism. Alright, so now some of our resources may not have an author listed. If that's the case, we're going to use a shortened version of the title. So for this one, we're going to look at resource number 4. So if you look at resource number 4, it's called Schools, States Review Cell Phone Bans. We're not going to use that whole thing. As you can see, again, I've already done the in-text citation. In parentheses, or in the text itself, we would use schools, states. So let's say I wanted to use something from this particular document. So there's a really good quote in here that I would like to use. And it's right here about the firm notes that students have used cell phones to calm bomb threats which are difficult to trace. The phones could also inadvertently detonate an electronic explosive device if one is in a school. So I would like to use this quote in my paper. Here's how I will do it. The first way I can do that in my paper is just simply put the quote, and then at the end I put that thing that was in that at the beginning of the resource, school, states. Again, notice the period goes at the end. Again, this is totally acceptable. I have their exact words in quotes. Or I can introduce it according to an Education World article. Education World should be underlined because it's the title of a publication. According to an Education World article entitled Schools, States Review Cell Phone Bans, and then I give that quote. It says the exact same things, but we're giving credit two different ways. Both of these is acceptable. If you do this any other way, you could be plagiarizing. So make sure if you're not sure to ask. But definitely use those in-text citations that I gave you. I gave you all of them for the 6 resources. At the beginning of each resource, it says resource 4. It gives this. This is what will go on our works cited page when we work on those. All you have to put in the text is this. So if you're not sure, just look at the beginning where it says in-text citation, and that's what you want to grab. Please do not forget to do this. If you do, you're either plagiarizing, which means you can get a 0, or you're not using outside resources, which is a requirement, and your grade will go down significantly. I have to see these things in your paper. Now, some of you may want to find your own research. If you choose to go out and do your own research or look at your own articles, you got to find the following information. Any of it that's available you need. If there's an author or authors, you need to write them down. The title of the article, the title of the website, the date it was published, the date you looked at it, and the whole web address. Yes, the whole thing. And if you do this, I will show you how to do a proper in-text citation. So, this is just a quick video on in-text citations. Make sure you follow the directions, and if you're not sure, ask.